Yeah, I want to say something. I was thinking about working. I hated my job, all of them. But I didn't know why I hated them. I hated them like real bad. I was good at the job. I worked good at the job. I was good with the people at the job. The people loved me at the job. I moved up at the job. I tried my best at the job. I didn't take nothing from my home. I didn't take nothing from my job home, and I didn't bring nothing from my home to my job. I love to work and stay busy, but I hated my job. And I remember a guy telling me not too long ago, you ain't even supposed to be working. It was like my father told me this in such a way like I was up. It was like he was trying to tell me at the job, leave these jobs. Because I don't want you working. You're not supposed to be down there working. You really down there to do one job and you don't need nothing to do that job. That's basically how I felt. So, you know, I just wanted to say that to let people know, don't bring your home to your job and don't take your job to your home, man. And you can always give 100% at your job, no matter if you like your job or not. Nobody got to know if you don't like your job. And one thing I learned from working so much and working a lot, I done had jobs since I was 14 years old, and I kept each job at least if it was a restaurant, 3 years. I upgraded out of restaurants probably around 16 years old, and I kept those jobs 5 years or more. The last two jobs I had, the last job I had, I worked 15 years, and the job before that one, I worked like 7 years. And it was hard work. It was work, physical work. I had to work with a lot of foreigners at one job. And boy, is it hard working with Hispanics and Guaca, I can't even say it right now. What's it? Guatemalas. There you go. Guatemalas. Guatemalans. I love them though. We had a good time. We had a great time. They saved my life. I had an issue and they saved my life by the grace of God. But it was like every time somebody throw me in the woods, somebody throw me in the ditch to die, somebody get me out of there, bro. Somebody you least expect. And after they get through taping me up and healing up my wounds for me, and I wake up from the comatose situation, I always call them a guardian angel. They be like, that's a bit much. But thank you anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Like my redneck friend, Stoney, I met on the mountains. I love that place though. That place was so beautiful. I always forget the name of it though. I always forget the name of it. But anyway, I worked hard, bro. I worked. Of course, I worked in the street, and I probably had another job. You ain't got no choice when you overwork and underpaid. You ain't got no choice. I had no one to help me. And I knew if I wanted something and if I needed something, I had to work. I had to work. I didn't have a choice. But anyway, I don't know why I said that. I want to say that. I want to let everybody know, don't hate your job. Love your job. Put love in your job. Let God teach you the discipline while you at your job. I probably seen it because I seen my cousin. I'm proud of my cousin Ron. I'm proud of any businessman to get his own business and able to employ people. They ain't really, wasting time and nothing else. They really working. But anyway, my father might feel different about a lot of stuff. I don't know. But I'm glad I learned to work. I'm glad I learned to appreciate my jobs. And I'm glad I learned to separate business from pleasure. And I also learned not to bring my home to my job and my job to my home. Yeah. Yep. Just like getting up early in the morning, getting ready. My grandpa used to get me ready. Like I said, he was a Navy SEAL. My grandpa was my best friend, y'all. My grandpa, my grandma, my brother that was murdered. And what made my brother my best friend? So all these other people that think they was close to me as well, I thought you was close to me too, but what made my brother that was murdered my best friend is because he was offered the same opportunity y'all was offered to do me in and backstab me, but he didn't. That's why he's my best friend. And probably lost his life because of it. But somehow, some way, the same people that was involved in his situation is involved in this situation and think I don't know about it. But anyway, I just want to say that, y'all. I love the work, man. It kept me out of trouble. It kept me out of other people's bedrooms. It gave me enough money to build, put food on the table, to make sure my woman was happy, my child was happy. Whether I was in a marriage at the time or with a girl, they didn't have to go nowhere else or do nothing else with nobody else. If they did it on their own time because they wanted to do it. And for what reason that was, I don't know. It really don't care. I know I gave my best though. And sometimes you can give your best and it just ain't good enough. And in my case, a lot of times you can give your best and it ain't good enough. It's never good enough. But you keep trying anyway. You keep striving anyway. And you let God remodify you and mold you and build you up a greater person. That's called trials and tribulations. And when it's no one there to hug you, when it's no one there to say good job, and when it's no one there to appreciate what you do for them, just know when no one else is there, God is. And if anything, God is closer. Embrace the trials and tribulations, because I promise you, I promise to God, they're going to make you so much greater. They're going to bring a greater version of you out of yourself that you ain't even never noticed that was in you in the first place. Earn your keep. I say, earn your keep. And when you earn it the right way, you got peace with what you earned the right way. I know, y'all. Because I was around people that were supposed to love me. And I had all these stories. You ain't the child, you did blah, 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 blah. At this point, ain't nobody listening to it no more. But, you know, it's interesting to hear the pastime sometimes. It's all right. Because I don't care about all that. Right now, I care about the fact that justice is being served to a lot of people. And I don't even care about justice truly getting served in my situation. My grandparents do. Ooh, they own y'all. But I thank God for the fact that so many, I didn't know people were getting done like this. You know how hard it is to be a good person? To go to work and work for everything you got? Even your woman or your man? And still catching a hard time day to day? Struggling every day, day to day? No appreciation for nothing that you do every day? And you still able to keep a smile on your face? You still able to pray? You still able to thank God? You still able to elevate in some of the worstest ways? You know how it feels to be raised in a place where people was paid to treat you like a stray? If you even thought about having depending on if you're a man or a woman, if you even thought about a lover coming your way, they gonna make sure they treat her like a steak before she get to you. So thank God that you make it this far in these situations and you still genuinely got a smile on your face. I don't know about many of y'all out there, but I couldn't wait for the day that I could get out of the street and stop killing my people to get paid. It wasn't much. It was little to no money. And it hurt me in every way. But I thank God to this day that I made the decision to change the way that I get paid. I've been hurt in ways so fashionable and so many different ways, in so many different ways, to somehow I went from having tears on my face to a smile on my face. I ran out of tears to cry. I didn't even know that there was tears to waste. So thank God. Thank God you got a job, and treat your job like you love your job, regardless if you feel out of place. You know what I did when I was at a job and I felt out of place? I started building on my dream. I started investing in my dream. And yeah, it took forever and a day. But you know what I did since it was gonna take me forever and a day to invest in my dream? I started studying for my dream. I started building blueprints for my dream. I started researching my dream. So when I finally got my dream, I'll make sure I be overly an overachiever in my dream. I had dreams like everybody else when I was younger. Wanted to be a musician, wanted to be an artist, wanted to be this, wanted to be that. But I also had reality. And I also had to be realistic. Because in a lot of that stuff, you gotta have some kind of support system. You gotta have somebody. I was always in a position. It was mandatory for me to be in a position. I had to be in a position where I had nobody, and if somebody even thought about trying to help me while I was in that position, they might have got killed for trying to help me for being in this position. And if they didn't get killed for helping me for being in this position, or if they didn't get tortured to death, they made sure their life was a living hell, just like mine. So it was safer and it was better and it was smarter for me to push people away. Y'all say the death of solitude, he an introvert, he's sabotaging. I'm not sabotaging. How can I sabotage when I'm walking into my purpose? I'm living in my purpose. I'm doing exactly what I was built to do. I'm helping change and elevate you. I'm in the exact spot I'm supposed to be in to help change and elevate you. If I had a nice house and if I had a nice car and I had nice clothes and nice shoes, would you really truly listen to me like you do today? Would you really fix your ears to hear anything that I have to say? If I had a nice house, nice cars, and everything that I got, everything nice, would you really listen to what I got to say? But seeing that I don't have all that, not even a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of, but I still got a genuine smile on my face, and I love to see my people elevate. Not only do I love to see my people elevate, I love to see all the people elevate, all nationality elevate, and I do it genuinely with a smile on my face. It ain't a hate in my blood. And not only am I congratulating you, I appreciate you. That's why you listening to me. That's why you listen to me. Because who can do that? We all supposed to be able to do that, but somebody programmed us to not be able to do that. I love my neighbors. I hope the best for my neighbors. I wish the best for my neighbors. I don't want to be in the house of my neighbors. I don't want to be in my neighbor's bed. I don't want to bear false witness against my neighbors. I don't even like to see the wrong done to my neighbors. I have to put my head down when wrong is being done to my neighbors, because it hurts me to see the wrong done to my neighbors. But it hurts me even more to see people try to hurt those who wish the best for them. So I love my job. I went to work every day. I got catalysts on my hands at an early age. At 18 years old, I worked hard. No matter who they pay to tell a lie. You can't pay everybody to lie. I worked hard at my jobs. I gave 110% at all my jobs. Even though I was overworked and underpaid, and I invested everything. I made sure I didn't waste $1. Down to the penny, I would count my money. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Thank God for what you got. You might not be Michael Jordan. You might not be the celebrity you want to be. You might not be all of these things. And you might not ever get to be that person. But just because you might not ever get to be that person don't mean you need to give up on yourself. Because your real role to play, your real purpose on this earth is what God put you here for. And I can guarantee you that position is still open. Each and every last 8.2 billion of us, whatever God put us here to do, that position is still open. And that's the best position that you could have been applying for. Amen.